Let's talk about money. Yesterday started the 21-day Money Love Challenge. Last year we ran this program for 21 days as well, about the same time, and we had over 13,000 people or something like that go through the challenge and to increase their abundance, increase their mindset around money. And it's just kind of a build off and a collaboration based off what Kate put together in her book, along with what we shot on Financial Freedom Fridays and just some other stuff that we've put together. So Penelope and I were sitting here and we were talking about money. We were talking about the abundance mindset versus the lack mentality when it comes to our financial situation, which is a big purpose of why Kate and I ended up putting the course together for the 21-day Money Love Challenge. And if you're not familiar with what it is, you can go to the moneylovechallenge.com, and I will link that below this video as well. But it's moneylovechallenge.com to check it out. And you can sign up between now and I think it's February 3rd is that you can sign up and get access to what the Money Love Challenge has to offer. But let's talk about abundance mindset versus the scarcity or lack mentality when it comes to money. Yesterday, Penelope, myself, and Phil, Kate's uncle, we took a drive up to Scottsdale, Arizona, because we're in Phoenix right now. And we were just talking just about life and in general. And I was telling her, I said, ever since Kate and I got together, the biggest thing that I could say that stands out for her when it comes to our financial situation is that even when we were both in debt, and even when I had $130,000 of debt, and as we were working our way out of it, and as we've been building our business, because business has revenue, but it also incurs expenses. So we've also incurred a lot of expenses along with growing our business revenue. But throughout this entire process, like not being able to pay the credit cards or having creditors call all the time for me for over a year for me to pay my credit cards, all of that stuff, no matter through that process, Kate's biggest thing I could always take away was the fact that she's like, there's always plenty, there's going to be enough. There was never a lack mentality. It was a true abundance mindset. And it's something that she's just developed for herself over time. Do you have abundance mindset? I think she has an abundance mindset. And it was just something that she created for herself over time, and that's developed. And it's something that I've been developing since we've been together, since about 5 years now, or 2011, right? So that would be 5 years. So the 5 years that we've been together, I've been really trying to switch my mindset. But being in so much debt and having creditors call, it's been quite an experience to work through that and to go from a lack mentality versus an abundance mentality. And this is a difficult switch to make because the world lives in not enough, or you need more, or you need more. There's not enough happiness. The more you need to live. Like we are surrounded in our life regarding a lack mentality mindset. So it's a very interesting perspective to grow from and to really blossom through to become an abundance mindset thinker, not just in money, but around everything else in life. And I would say that because once we start in really performing, I wouldn't say performing, but once we start really believing in the abundance mindset concept of in our money situation or in whatever else that we're doing in our life, like that triggers and it kind of just roller coasters along to everything else. We start interacting and hanging out with people that have more of abundance mindset. We start interacting with companies that have that abundance mindset, not lack mentality. Because if you think about like Wall Street, for instance, everything goes from quarter to quarter to quarter basis, right? Everything is so lack that we have to perform and outperform our previous quarter numbers. So everything's short-term thinking. When you think from an abundance standpoint, is that there's always going to be enough. It's also more of a long-term thought process. And I've done a couple videos about long-term versus short-term thinking, but that's the biggest difference I would say is the abundance versus lack mentality is a long-term versus short-term mindset. Like if we ran our life from quarter to quarter to quarter like we do in Wall Street and investments and all that stuff, stock markets, like, oh, the stock price dropped $200 today because their numbers didn't match what was expected. And it's like, okay, well, let's look at 3 years from now. Like, is that company still around? Are they going under? Like, how about that? How about taking it from that mentality that if a lot of our businesses ran from more of like a 5-year plan versus a quarter plan, how much better off we would be in this world. So that's what I have to say. And I think the biggest thing that we put together for the 21 days is the abundance mindset piece that's put together. And hold on, Penelope. So if that's something that you're working on for yourself regarding building an abundance mindset, I would highly recommend to take part in the Money Love Challenge that's taking place, and I'll link it up below. As I said before, the Money Love Challenge is a great place to start. It's free for 21 days, F-R-E-E. So technically it's not free because it requires your time and effort, right? Those are valuable things, but if you put them in, guaranteed results. We'll see you on the next episode of Mike and Penelope Shoot a Video. Cheers.